Have you ever wondered how some people always end up in the right place at the right time? How is it that some people are given the worst situation and can create opportunity from it? You might be thinking, that's because these people get lucky. The truth is, luck can be created if you can unlock your mind. In the mid-2000s, when cell phones had small screens and tiny buttons, Steve Jobs had an idea. What if we didn't need buttons at all? What if we could unlock the power of a touchscreen that could do everything all at once? In 2007, he created the very first iPhone, but it wasn't just about the technology. It was about seeing the potential of something new, acting out on that opportunity to then create something that would change the world. He didn't wait for the perfect time, he created it. In this video, I want to show you how to unlock your mind to develop the skill of creating luck. You see, most of us start here, on the tiers of wealth. And if you want to create opportunities for yourself that can change your life, we have to decide to start working from the top 2 tiers. If you want to learn about the 4 tiers of wealth and where you stand on this chart, check out this video here. Most of us start at the bottom of the tier levels because we were born in the system of trading our muscles and time for money, meaning we physically get up every day and we place ourselves in a room for 8 to 10 hours a day for a paycheck. The more that you develop your skills and unlock your mind, you could start creating opportunity for yourself to move up the tiers. The first step to learn how to create luck for yourself is by becoming self-aware of what's been going on around you. Your entire life, you've been a consumer. Everyone and everything around you is focused on one goal, and that's selling to you. Commercials, TV, TikTok are all strategically planning their content to get you to pay them in cash or your attention. The truth is that these companies and social media is trying to get you addicted to their products to make money off of your stupidity. They plan their content in depth. The colors they use in their commercials, their packaging, the scripts, the music in the background, everything is strategically planned to pull your heartstrings and hook you. Have I hooked you yet? And the sad truth is the majority of the things that we consume are all programming us to turn off our minds, to quite literally stop you from using your brain. People wonder why it's so hard for them to focus, why they struggle problem solving, or why it's hard to change habits. So what do? They go to some doctor and get some bullshit diagnosis, getting them to get on medication, when in reality, you've been programmed to be this way because you've been consuming things for years that altered your mind, your nervous system to behave in the way that it does. Well, that changes today. Stop mindlessly paying people with your attention. Number 2, if you are not happy and you want to change your life, you have to be willing to learn something new. This is so difficult for people because we're so stuck in our ways, in our beliefs, until we get hit by a bus and realize that what we're doing is not working. Save yourself the time by realizing that you don't know everything, because if you did, you wouldn't be in this position. This is a reminder to stop being stubborn. Your emotions and your reactions are stopping you from creating the life you desire. With that, I do want to emphasize that sometimes it's not easy to change. As we go through life, we inherit these traumas and limiting beliefs from life experiences. And when we hold on to this negativity, it's hard for us to even want a better life, to want to achieve our goals, even though we're suffering because we don't believe in ourselves. Having a disciplined lifestyle is extremely glorified on social media. No one talks about the mental health aspect, how discipline can become very toxic when we're forcing ourselves to suppress our emotions just to live up to these societal standards of disciplined routines. I personally have suffered from mental health issues trying to keep up with a disciplined life and making a dream happen. And in order to truly create success, you have to have the right mindset. With that being said, BetterHelp is the sponsor of this video. BetterHelp is an online platform with a mission to make therapy more easily accessible to the world. Getting started is as simple as filling out a questionnaire and getting matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. From here, you can schedule video, phone, or message-based sessions, whatever you're most comfortable with. BetterHelp is fully online, which means you can talk to a therapist in the comfort of your own home. What I love about BetterHelp is if you feel like you're not connecting with your therapist, you could switch to a new one with no extra charge. There are over 30,000 licensed professionals with a wide range of specialties and backgrounds. If you believe you would benefit from therapy, click the link in my description box below, or you can go to betterhelp.com/karinaalexandria to get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. I promise your mindset is worth it. Now, in order to create luck and opportunity for yourself, you have to retrain your mind. I want you to think of your brain as a muscle, and your brain has been turned off from being a consumer all these years. And in order to get it working again, you have to actively work it out like a muscle. Every one of us has 3 personalities: the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. Majority of the population is functioning as the technician, trading our muscles and physically working for money. The technician prioritizes the present moment, fully focused on completing his tasks. We do this at work, at home, with our hobbies, etc. All the technician cares about is his work, his responsibilities. He wants to be left alone. The technician typically associates their paycheck with the amount of time and work done. The manager is concerned with order and planning. They bring a sense of stability and predictability. They like to focus on the past in order to strategize for the future. This role is played by people in the workforce as managers. Parents are often required to be in this role, and people often get stuck being managers of their relationships and friendships. The manager sees time in relation to efficiency and wants to control the technician. The entrepreneur is the visionary and is often focused on the future. They are the dreamers that often think about growth, possibilities, and expansion. They are the risk takers, and they're less concerned with day-to-day operations. They're more focused on long-term strategy and overall the direction of whatever they're pursuing, whether that's business or personal goals. It's genuinely a part of their mindset because they've trained their mind to be that way. The entrepreneur sees time as an investment, and in order to change your life and create opportunities for yourself, you have to start working and practicing this mindset. Now, you're already one step closer than you were before. For anybody that wants to start a business one day or is already in business, honestly, just for mindset purposes, I recommend you pick up this book. This book is nothing new to my channel. It's linked in my Amazon storefront. As someone who was a technician turned business, this book changed my life. So remember, we have to start actively working out our brain like a muscle to get these entrepreneurial muscles turned on and working. Understand that the visionary sees past limitations, which means you're gonna have to learn how to release your limiting beliefs. Most of you watching this, including myself, all started from this bottom tier. You have to rewire your brain to release those limitations that are gonna stop you from working your way up the tiers. Exercise number 1 is to start looking at everything around you as a business. Whether you're grocery shopping, you're at Target, you're in a parking lot, literally stop and look at where you're at and figure out, how is this place operating? How is this place making money and providing value? During the Halloween season, my partner and I went to a pumpkin patch, and the entire time we were there, we could not get over how packed this place was. There were rides and all kinds of foods and treats, and people were selling their crafts. All we could think about was how much money this place was making per day. This place was charging $30 admission fees, besides the price of foods and shopping. The food was nothing spectacular. Tacos, nachos, hot dogs, burgers, literally things that were all being ran by teenagers. The rides were extremely simple and didn't require heavy machinery. There were large tires you could spin inside of, haunted houses, corn mazes. When we went, there were definitely thousands of people there, and not to mention, they offered free parking. Tickets alone, this place had to be making 5 figures a day, with the expenses of the cheap food and employees, maybe electricity. But to think that all of this started out from purchasing land. Now, of course, it's a pumpkin patch. It only operates certain times a year that I know of, at least. The owner could have easily created opportunity for themselves to make money throughout the entire year. But the point is to start looking at everywhere you go as a business. And this is just one way to get those entrepreneurial muscles working. Exercise number 2 is really fun with a partner or a group of friends, and it's the alphabet challenge. You're all gonna take turns creating a story going down the alphabet starting with the letter A. Here's an example.
Crazy thing happened today. Did you hear it?
Just tell me.
Canada is moving.
Don't even start.
This is a really fun way to develop your creativity. Exercise number 3 is also one to do with a partner or a group of friends, but this is one of the best ones. You're gonna have someone be in charge of a 10-second timer, and each of you are gonna yell out things that you wanna do in this life. For example, I wanna live in Japan for 6 months. I wanna own a house in Hawaii. I want to recreate the educational system. The only rule is that you can't repeat what was previously said. This exercise is really good because it's going to force you to push through those limiting beliefs before the timer ends. This is a good one to practice because remember, the entrepreneur sees past limitation. Okay, now that we're getting our muscles working and we're starting to shift our thoughts and the way we see life, I want you to start applying your new mindset to everyday life. Part of creating opportunity for yourself involves learning and gaining experience. For example, in my early 20s, I was working retail and I wanted to get into the healthcare industry, but I had no experience. So what did I do? I started to brainstorm and think, how can I use the skills that I learned from these retail jobs to my advantage? You see, retail developed my communication skills and it taught me how to sell. At the time, I wanted to work for a very specific doctor in my city in an industry I had no experience in. I seen the clinic had a job position opened, so I went onto the website and I studied it. I studied their mission statement, I read reviews, looked at the products sold and services offered. I applied for a job I had no business applying for. And because I took the time to study their website and applied the skills that I've learned from my previous jobs, I got that job. And in fact, I mastered interviews because I now understand what people are looking for. I created opportunity for myself because I opened my mind to possibility. I was open and willing to learn, and I took action towards making it happen. I realized there's a recipe to it, just like a lot of things in life. If you want to create opportunity for yourself, you have to align yourself with the actions needed to make it happen. If you want to make more money, whether that's in your job, you want to get a promotion, you have to find out how to work smarter. How are you going to stand out of the crowd or in your office of coworkers? Anyone watching this that might flip cars, houses, or sneakers all know that knowledge is power. To be successful, they need to know the industry, know their cars, know their shoes, in order to see opportunities that other people can't. These people live and breathe their craft, and you need to do the same. Here is where opportunity lies for you. It is now easier than ever to get paid to be you. Everybody watching this has been through something in their life that they can give insight on and get paid for it. There are people seeking to find out what it is that you know. These could be problems you learned how to solve from your jobs, from life experiences, from your relationships, transformations you've been through. Maybe you transformed your life coming out of a toxic relationship. Maybe you lost a bunch of weight and healed your autoimmune diseases, but you haven't been able to see this opportunity for yourself because your mind's been turned off. You guys, literally everything I'm preaching in this video are things that I've learned through life experiences, from reading books and just being a business owner. And one day I saw an opportunity for myself to create a new life, just sharing who I am to the world, and my life completely changed in 6 months. I feel fulfilled more than I've ever felt working for someone else, and I'm providing value. The more I focus on deciding to work in this top tier of imagination, the more creative I'll become, the more opportunities I will be able to create for myself. Now, I'll also say you don't have to sit in front of a camera and talk about your life, because there are people literally making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month using AI and technology without showing their face. Those people saw a different opportunity for themselves that served their desires. There's so many ways you can create opportunities for yourself. It's a matter of how well you can use your entrepreneurial mind, your imagination. Yes, you would have to learn how to do something new. Yes, you would have to dedicate time to figure out how this would work. Or you can hire someone else to do it. But you can't tell me right now that your dream life isn't worth the try. If you don't like the position that you are in, you can change it. No one else will. You can start a business and solve problems that you've learned along your journey of life. You could then create systems that align with your desires if you're someone that doesn't want to work in your business. It's simply just a matter of figuring out how you can make your life happen. This is what the rich does, because they have heightened awareness to see opportunities for themselves. Why? Because they train their minds to see them. Now, I want to remind you that your purpose on this planet is to evolve. I know we get so stuck in our lives, in our routines, in our habits, leading us to feel lost or depressed or to feel like failures. If you are in a place where you feel down, if you're feeling off or feeling stuck in negative emotion, understand, my love, that these are just feelings of redirection. These emotions you feel is guidance from your inner being to push you towards a new dimension, to push you towards a new path. That's why you're being called to it. This is your year, if you decide it's your year. If you would like to learn more about my story or more information about monetizing yourself, you can check out my links below. Wishing you so much more love and abundance this new year.